A royal guard holding vigil by the Queen's coffin just fainted, but it's not altogether uncommon for this to happen. Still, this made quite the headlines and everyone on social media was talking about it, so you must be wondering, what are the details and why isn't this uncommon? Lucky for you, we're here to answer all your questions. Keep watching this video to find out all the details. First up, let's talk about the live broadcast during which this happened. On Wednesday, the BBC was forced to halt a live broadcast of Queen Elizabeth II's lying in state at Westminster Hall after one of the royal guards guarding Her Majesty's coffin collapsed. The guard was standing at the foot of the late monarch's casket when he was blacked out. Footage of the guard's unexpected collapse went viral on social media. Spectators were visibly anxious about the Queen's guard, who quickly attended by surrounding officials before the video was halted. While people watched at home and couldn't help but worry about the fallen soldier, the other guards on duty appeared utterly unaffected by the incident and were instead fully engaged in their job of guarding Her Majesty's casket. Moving on, what did social media users have to say about this? One person shared their concerns, stating they pray he is not injured. That was a bad fall, and it must have been overwhelming. Additionally, this is one of the world's largest events. Another user hopes that he is okay. Staying like that for an extended period of time must be quite difficult. Following up, why do royal guards faint? Soldiers in ceremonial uniform keep a 24-hour vigil around the Queen's casket at Westminster Hall. While the troops rotate positions every 20 minutes, they are supposed to stand still for 6 hours per shift around the four corners of the coffin. Surprisingly, fainting is not unusual among the Queen's guards, especially during large-scale ceremonies such as Trooping the Colour, which demanded them to stand still for long periods. According to Major Die, who commanded the 101 Strong Guard of Honour from the Welsh Guards at the Prince and Princess of Wales' wedding, the troops are even instructed to faint to attention. Soldiers are taught not to tip over or grab surrounding structures for support. According to the Express, true discipline is demonstrated by troops who can fall forward face first while still gripping their bayonet-tipped guns. Let's learn more about some of the best soldiers and other details. Quote, "It'll more likely involve a fractured nose and a lot of lost teeth," Major Die added. The household troops, as they were known at the period, were tasked with guarding the sovereign since Henry's VII's reign. Since the 17th century, the Queen's Guardmen have served as some of the best troops in the British Army, fighting with distinction in nearly every major conflict. To become a member of the Royal Guardsmen, they must have flawless discipline and years of training. Standing totally still for extended periods can place enormous strain on the body and mind, producing tiredness, muscle strain, lower back pain, and swelling of the feet. Not to forget the weight of their outfit, the surroundings, and the strain to perform their duties are also included. What's more, the queue to see Queen Elizabeth II's coffin is temporarily closed. The British government asked people not to join the miles-long line to visit Queen Elizabeth's lying in state in London on Friday, warning of at least 14-hour waits. Elizabeth died in Scotland last week at the age of 96. Sparking an outpouring of passion that drove tens of thousands to view her coffin on its way to London and has now driven many more to join enormous queues to pay their respects during a 4.5-day laying in state ceremony. Quote, "The queue will be closed for at least 6 hours, Britain's Culture Department announced on Twitter shortly before 10 a.m. The never-ending line winds its way from Southwark Park to Westminster Hall, where 750,000 people are anticipated to go past the Queen's coffin before Monday morning. Despite the official advice, thousands of people continue to pour into Southwark Park, including announcements at the neighboring London Underground station advising people not to join the line. Police nonetheless permitted others to enter the park and join the back of the queue. Mourners have been urged not to bring camping equipment, sleeping bags, or folding chairs. And temporary facilities have been placed along the course of the queue. Lastly, Prince William and Princess Kate meet soldiers assisting with the Queen's funeral in a poignant event. On Friday, the Prince and Princess of Wales traveled to the Army Training Centre Purebright in Surrey for an important mission. The royal couple went into the training center to meet Commonwealth soldiers who would be assisting with the Queen's state burial on Monday. Commonwealth soldiers will march with Her Majesty's coffin from Westminster Abbey to Wellington Arch, where the miniature gun salute will take place. William wore a blue suit that was embellished with his military decorations, while Kate looked stunning in a black jacket and matching headgear. William and Kate were welcomed by soldiers from Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, where the Queen served as Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Regiment of Australian Artillery, the 48th Highlanders of Canada, and the Corps of Royal New Zealand Engineers. Members of the New Zealand Regiment performed a traditional haka for the Prince and Princess of Wales as they visited junior soldiers. Their outing followed an equally poignant one on Thursday when they went to the Queen's Sandringham house to observe tributes left for her. While there, William chatted to a member of the public about walking behind the monarch's coffin as it was transported to Westminster Hall on Wednesday. He compared the day's feelings to having to walk behind his mother's coffin at her funeral in 1997. The Prince of Wales will attend another poignant event on Saturday when he and the Queen's other grandchildren will mount a vigil at her coffin. Now, on to some other news. First off, the lesson Queen Elizabeth II leaves for King Charles III. If there's one word to describe Queen Elizabeth II's reign following her death, it is continuity. But that is a deceptive epitaph that obscures the late monarch's actual genius and the legacy she leaves to her son. The death of the Queen shocked the United Kingdom. That may come as a surprise, but she was 96 years old and in poor health. As the country adjusts, it's worth understanding what was truly underlying Queen Elizabeth's sense of stability and continuity. King Charles III will bring to the throne a new set of reference points, language, and ideas. He is passionate about environmental issues. While he may hope that his son will follow him as Commonwealth leader, he may have already understood that this is unlikely and has planned a dignified departure from the position. Other issues he will have to make, including the size of the monarch in difficult times, how vocal he would be about climate change, and his connections with the Gulf monarchs. He must decide how to think about and communicate with the United States, where there is a reverence for tradition and protocol, but also impatience and suspicion of a monarchy. Up next, the possible cause of Queen Elizabeth II's death was revealed. On Thursday, September 8th, Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, died at 96 at her Scottish castle in Balmoral, surrounded by her closest circle. The following day, Prince Charles was crowned King of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Following the line of succession, no one knew the exact reason for Queen Elizabeth II's death. A rumor circulating that Queen Elizabeth II died as a result of a fall. Eldwell stated that he had heard that she had fallen. At this age, a fall in the shower or down the stairs might be fatal. Former Captain Alwell stated that he has no confirmation of this claim because it is one of several plausible explanations for the former monarch's death. Another rumor indicates that the Queen had been suffering from leukemia for some years, which had gradually worsened her health. Finally, the Queen only broke royal protocol one time. You're probably aware that members of the royal family must adhere to a set of do's and don'ts at all times, especially when out in public. On one occasion, Queen Elizabeth II threw the rules out the window. Following Princess Diana's death in 1997, she emerged from Buckingham Palace to join massive crowds viewing Diana's coffin as it made its way to Westminster Abbey. And despite the fact that it's against the rules, the Queen bowed for the first time in her life. According to Alberto Angela, the host of the documentary series Ulysses, Diana's death was one of the Queen's most devastating moments. He stated that there is a highly meaningful photograph recorded on the day of Diana's funeral. They were standing outside of the Buckingham Palace gate. Everyone bowed in front of the Queen, who is a symbol of national togetherness. That day, however, it was Queen Elizabeth II who bowed her head in respect for the passage of Diana's coffin, the woman who had disobeyed the palace's norms more than anyone else. And this image of the Queen bowing was one of the strongest ones of its time. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on the Royal Guard holding vigil by the Queen's coffin? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.